So we are, what, 2.5 years past all this nonsense, and the United States still has travel restrictions that are preventing Novak Djokovic, the guy who just won Wimbledon, by the way, okay? The number one ranked tennis player in the world is not allowed to participate in the upcoming US Open. All right, cool. Well, why is that so significant? Okay, it's not like this is any news or anything like that. Djokovic had that big saga at the beginning of the year trying to get into play in the Australian Open. They said, no, come on down. We got everything sorted out for you. And then he flies down there and like, no, actually, we revoked it because that wouldn't be nice. And then they sent him back and then he went on a big media tour. And then he ended up beating the brakes off of some fools out there in England. And he participate in France. I'm not entirely sure. Who gives a shit about the fucking French Open? But regardless, now heading up for the US Open, not allowed in, okay? They got to do not come in unless you're vaxxed. It's just going to be really awkward, okay? Especially when you got, one of these tune-up events that's happening right now. You got Dimitrov, okay? He's another highly ranked tennis player. I'm not even going to begin to pretend to know everybody who's up there in the ranks right now, but he was forced to retire in his opening match at the Winston Salem Open, US Open Series, after experiencing dizziness and shortness of breath in the second set. Nothing weird about these young, healthy athletes just, suddenly experiencing just simply random health defects, okay? Don't also mind that in 2021, the world experienced 40% rise in unassignable deaths. No. Don't look into any of that stuff. Just take the jab, eat the bugs, live in the pod. But Nadal and Medvedev lament Djokovic's absence from the US Open. Because just like good old crabs in the bucket, okay, as soon as one tries to get to the top, the rest of them are just trying to pull him down. Stop thinking for yourself, Novak. Just get back in here. Just take the jab like the rest of us. Just please suffer like the masses. Rafa Nadal said that the sad news of his great rival Novak Djokovic will be missing the US Open. It's sad because he's going to be missing it, or because they're forcing him to stay away. Funny. That absence of the player of the Serbian caliber was an important miss for the hardcourt Grand Slam. Djokovic, who won Wimbledon to take a major singles title to 21, has opted not to be vaccinated against the coup. Good decision. He said on Thursday he could not fly to New York for the year's final Grand Slam. Rules require travelers to show proof of vaccination to board flights to enter the United States. How fucking retarded. I guess I can drive across the border when I make my grand escape from this fucking degenerative hellhole. From my perspective, it's very sad news. Nadal, who leads the men's Grand Slam race with 22 titles, told reporters on Friday, "It's always a shame when the best players in the world are not able to play in a tournament because of injuries or because of different reasons." Okay, yeah. Listen, he didn't want to experience an injury, so he has different reasons. In this case, not having one of the best players in history in the dawn of the Grand Slam is always an important miss. No. 35-year-old Djokovic was unable to compete in the Australian Open at the start of the year. Blasey, we went over that in great detail. Nadal said it was tough for both players and fans, as everyone wants the best players to compete at big events. Yeah, no, exactly, but the government doesn't want to. Why? Because the shifting information on the vaccine, just shut up. Everybody else is doing it. Therefore, you should. Okay, cool. Good justification, my friend. On the other hand, I repeat what I said plenty of times. The sport, in some ways, is bigger than any player. Okay, you can't have your cake and eat it too in this situation, okay? It's either the people really want the best players to be there and compete, and the sport's bigger than that. Okay, would anybody care about the sport if the best players weren't in it? Okay? Because you've seen the PGA throw a fucking sped fest when it came to that LIV offshoot that ended up happening when they were paying, okay, have the best competitors partake in that. Then the PGA just decided to sue everybody and lock them out, and then realized they'd be stuck with an over-the-hill Rory McIlroy and Tiger Woods just being like, no, just come over here. And PGA was good to me, okay? I know my best drives in recent years have mostly just ended with me flipping and rolling down a hill. Just be good and apologize to the PGA and leave a Weasley voicemail and everything will be forgiven. God, I wish I still had a YouTube account way back in the day when Tiger Woods was cucking out to public pressure. Oh, that would have been fun to expose. But no use crying over spilt milk. Let's just live in the present, because at least we got somebody standing up for what the fuck they believe in. Even if it's not a good news for everyone, the world continues continues, and tennis will continue after me, after Novak, after Roger Federer, except for the new crop is nowhere as good as having three of the all-time greats, competing at, with each other. Like, yeah, Novak Djokovic, Roger Federer, Rafael Nadal. Those three guys together, that's like a triumvirate of talent that has never been seen before at such a high level. Like, yeah, McEnroe, obviously, during his time, did he have two other contemporaries that were fucking beating the brakes off of everybody, and then the finals just always seem to come down to a variation of those three names by the end? No, of course not. Andre Agassi, Pete Sampras. It's like, come on, over the past 10 to 15 years, tennis has probably never been better, okay? And I'm leaving out a whole host of notable names like Andy Murray. There was that American cat. I can't quite remember his name, but he was awfully good for a minute. Without a doubt, Novak is one of the most important players of the last 20 years, the history of our sport. In a personal way, I feel sorry for him, and he's not able to travel here. Why is that? Just call it out. Just call it out, Rafa. What do you have to lose? Number one in the world, Daniil Medvedev, which is kind of fucking bunk, all things considered, because who just won the last big major? All right, the guy's not allowed to come in. Nothing fucked up about those rankings now, is there? Said he was disappointed. His U.S. Open title defense at Flushing Meadows. Another one that Djokovic wasn't allowed to attend. Just saying, the lanky Russian pulled off one of the sport's greatest upsets with cat-like agility a year ago when he denied Djokovic a calendar Grand Slam. Oh, I'm retarded. He was there for that one. Wait a minute. How'd you get into that one? That don't make no sense. In straight sets, win on Arthur Ashe Stadium to collect his first major title. I wish he could play here, Medvedev told reporters ahead of the U.S. Open main draw, which starts on Monday. Rivalry against Rafa is really, I feel like, heating up in a way. 22, 21 Grand Slams, a joke of a number. Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous at this point. Because it wasn't that long ago where it was historic when Federer got, I think, 21 initially? And then, yeah, all of a sudden, now you have two of the greatest of all time, just racking up the fucking wins. And Djokovic being forced to leave three of the major titles on the fucking cutting room floor during the tail end of his prime. Yeah, no, nothing political about that at all whatsoever. No. Just keep him out for something that's not even going to protect him against something that had zero likelihood of ever fucking taking him out to begin with. But yeah, while we're on the subject and while we're on the topic, Aaron Rodgers, man, coming into this year, I wasn't a big fan of Aaron Rodgers. I always thought that he was, just loved a little bit too much by the media. I'm not going to say that he's overrated, okay? He's a very good quarterback. As the Green Bay Packers, never been my cup of tea. But then all that shaky shit started to happen around him and his weird fucking oddly attractive girlfriend at the time. We're all into healing crystals and some shit, and he was saying, yeah, I'm immunized, but not really. Just please don't ask any follow-up questions. I'm immunized under the pretense that nobody asked me any additional questions. It's kind of like a Joe Biden press conference. Anyways, Packers quarterback who refusal to get the COVID-19 vaccine became a national story last year, and he stuck to his guns. I like him a lot just because of that. I completely changed my opinion on him, okay? I always thought he was kind of a little bit of an arrogant cunt, but he is standing his ground on this, so I appreciate him. He was on the Joe Rogan Experience. Holy fuck, Joe Rogan once again becoming relevant. Weird. Saturday, when the topic came up, Rodgers, who told reporters he was immunized last year, again, he had it, so what about natural immunity? Anyways, admitted that the phrasing was intentionally misleading. I'd been ready the entire time. The question, I had thought about how I wanted to answer it, Rodgers said, and I had come to the conclusion I'm going to say, I've been immunized. And there's a follow-up then. Talk about my process. Oh, okay, cool. Oh, and if there's a follow-up talk, then I talk about my process. No, fair enough. Because you can have the administration at large, the ones who are mandating all of these fucking jabs. They're the ones who like to change the definition of words. A recession, is not quite what you normally think it is, okay? Vaccination, it's not supposed to protect you against anything. It could just, lessen symptoms, okay? So in Aaron Rodgers' world, he's just being consistent with the messaging that comes from the White House. So, what are you guys, bigots? But thought there's a possibility that I say I'm immunized. Maybe they won't understand what that means. Maybe they don't. Maybe they follow up. They didn't follow up. So then I go into the season, them thinking, some of them, that I was vaccinated. Fucking based. Rodgers was referring to homeopathic medicine he took as a means of immunization, but he further contributed to the perception that he was vaccinated vaccinated by speaking maskless at press conferences. Yeah, because wearing masks is just fucking annoying. And the only thing that it does is just give you virtue signaling points, or I don't know, just shows you that you were stupid enough to buy a Louis Vuitton mask. Can you fucking believe it? At press conferences when only vaccinated players were allowed to do so. Yeah, again, following the science. When Rodgers eventually tested positive for the coof, the story blew up. Wow, imagine if that would have happened right now. He's out there saying, yeah, I'm immunized, and everybody just moves on. Then he catches the coof. Then all he needs to do is say, thank God that I've been immunized. I hope everybody else takes the vaccines because they're safe and effective. He wouldn't have had to change his messaging one fucking bit. Hilarious. I knew at some point if I contracted the coof or word got out because the NFL, and there's leaks everywhere, it is possible I'd have to answer the question, Rodgers said. And then it's a shitstorm hit because now I'm a liar. I'm endangering the community, my teammates, all these people, and I attempted to take down with me and my word, and my integrity began. You said you were immunized, okay? But then again, Joe Biden also said that he was going to be a president for all Americans. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen to the other. Go out there and beat the brakes off those kids in the NFC North because, yeah, that's definitely a division that exists. Anyways, with all that said, thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.